Good afternoon, everybody. It is 3:50 in the Post Meridian. Just went to Giant to get some Poland Spring water bottles for the water cooler back at the studio so that we have something to hydrate ourselves with during the show tonight. That's right, there's an Ask a Guide this evening. And Charlie Fennell is our guest. And we're talking about Kane's Brigade at the Battle of Gettysburg. And yes, we've all been hit with allergies of some sort here. I think it's allergies, at least, because I don't feel sick except for the sniffle and the scratchy throat. So I'm gonna try to mute my microphone every time I have to sniffle on tonight's show. But I can't guarantee anything, so I beg your forgiveness ahead of time if the sniffles bother you. But I will do my damnedest to curb them as best I can. Hello, Wonder Monkey, Dustin, Barbara, and Michael. How are you all? So I thought I'd just give you a quick little drive. I've been in the studio since 9 this morning, or was it 9:30? Whatever, early this morning, whatever. If it's before noon, it's early. And I was working on a lot of things, uploading another show for Anniversary Week Sweepstakes Festival. What are you calling it? I don't know, not sweepstakes. Something. I can't think of the word. Extravaganza, let's call it that. It's an extravaganza of shows. Starting Sunday, we have one show a day. Sunday night, Monday night, Tuesday morning, Wednesday morning, Thursday morning, Friday morning, and that is it. That is it. We have an overview of the battle for people, mainly for those are usually for people who are new to it. The thought behind it is, the algorithm is going to be hot with Gettysburg searches and stuff, being that it's the anniversary. And so we always kind of do overviews. Usually we do an overview of each day. So we have one episode per day that talks about that day. This year we decided we're going to use our totem pole show back in April as a chance to do an overview of all 3 days. And the idea is, people who are new to the battle might catch us because of all that algorithmic crap. And this might be their entree into the Battle of Gettysburg, maybe even the Civil War, and certainly addressing Gettysburg. So we want to catch them with something that's pretty basic, and hopefully we don't get too much in the weeds. So that's coming out the 30th. And then on each day of the battle, we have a different aspect of the war or the battle. I can't remember off the top of my head what we've got. Well, I know one of them is Small Arms at Gettysburg with Phil Spoggy. Another one is Civil War Wounds with Dr. Craig Miller. And damn it if I can't remember the third one. Oh, no, that's on Sunday. It's Yankee Drummer Boy with Jim Smith. That's an interesting story. And I can't remember what's coming out on the 1st. Something. I guarantee you that. And I just did it. Anyway, I spent the morning doing the thumbnails for that and all that crap, and uploading them, and et cetera, et cetera. And then I finished editing the Totem Pole show, so that'll be posted soon. And whatever. So that's what we got. We've got a lot of stuff coming out next week. And yeah. And I will be taking it easy. Doing some Well, be taking it easy, but I'll still be working. On the anniversary days, we're going to do, Stephen Taft and I are going to do Matt Atkinson's walk on July 1st in the morning. And then that night, we're recording Bill Schultz here at the seminary, talking about his ancestor Rufus Dawes and William Dawes and Marjorie Dawes and her seesaws. And I believe it was Marjorie Daw, but still. Yeah, so a lot of stuff coming up. And then, I don't know, there's other battle anniversary stuff that I'm going to do with Derek. Derek, I'm sorry, Stephen Taft. He just moved here. And he is still, as they say, in tourist mode. And I remember a couple of weeks ago, I said, so maybe we could film this during the blah, blah, blah. And he's like, oh, I'm taking the whole week off, first week of July off, anniversary week. Because usually that was when we would come down here on vacation. But my family's still coming down, and we're going to do battle walks, and we're going to do this and that, and all that stuff. And I said, oh, yeah, I forgot you're still in tourist mode, even though you live here now. And he said, I'll always be in tourist mode. And I said, no, you won't. You got about 3 years. He goes, nope, I'll always be in tourist mode. I said, okay, we'll see. And then he goes, maybe you should come along with me, and maybe you can remind yourself of what you love about all this, and just do tourist things again. And I said, you know what, you sick son of a bitch, you're right. I should, and I will. And so I shall. And I look forward to reigniting that spark. When am I planning to go to Montana, Barbara? Well, we were supposed to go July. That was the plan, at least. But our July schedules filled up pretty quickly with work stuff back here. So not when we thought. And yeah, and then maybe, I don't know, Hessler and I have to have a conversation, because a lot of people after the Tavern Talk want us to put together a tour out at Little Bighorn, and I like that idea. So maybe we'll do that, and we'll do a 2 birds, 1 stone type of trip. So yeah, I don't really know. Zeppelin's getting the 20th Maine flag from Amazon. That is it a print or is it stitched? 6 questions says, it has been 7 years and I am still in tourist mode because I am a nerd. Yeah, I wish I could still be. Well, I was talking about it today with a listener, actually, who sent me a nice email, and I decided I would give him a phone call, and instead of responding to the email, and I did, and we had a nice conversation. But we were talking about this, and I said, back in the good old days, and I was reminded of that line that Andy Bernard has in the last episode of The Office about, I wish there was a way to know that you're in the good old days while you're in the good old days, or I forget exactly the words he uses, but that's the sentiment. And it made me think of those days, those early days of addressing Gettysburg, where I had a couple of mindless jobs, which enabled me to focus on this, but it was still new. I was happy to be back here. I'm still happy to be living here. Don't get me wrong. None of this is sour grapes or complaints or anything. It's just, see, as I explain it, I think you'll understand. And, so then, a team is kind of coalescing. Eric, the producer, is helping me. He's a great help. And then COVID hits shortly thereafter. And we all find ourselves with nothing to do. And no particular place to go. And so oftentimes we would just go, oh, should we go hang out on the battlefield? Like after work, we would do it, and we'd go hang on the battlefield off until after dark for the short amount of time that we were still allowed to do that before the rules changed. And it was great, and a lot of ideas for shows came out of those very real organic moments that we had just exploring a random area. Like often Eric would, maybe if he was home that day, he would text me, I don't know, 5 o'clock, whatever, and he'd say, I'm heading into town, or heading into the battlefield, let's meet at the Peace Light. And I was like, okay. So we meet at the Peace Light, and then all of a sudden we'd bump into maybe 6 Questions or Veronica or something, and then we'd all hang out and talk and share whatever comes to mind about the place. And most of the time I would listen to everybody and what they're saying, and out of that an idea for an episode would come. And then it was always driven by what I was interested in at the time, and so that's how we got a lot of the episodes there. But then, as with everything that starts pure and full of passion and fun, eventually it becomes a business. And at first, the money that was coming in was like extra money, so it would just go in with my normal tax return. But then one year I had a freaking ridiculous tax bill, and my accountant was like, it might behoove you to become an LLC, and we might want to explore the S Corp option so that your tax liability is not so insane. And I said, great, because that hurt paying that bill. So that's what we did. And then when all of that shit happens, that's when it becomes real. That's when it becomes work. That's when it becomes a business. That's when the work is flipped from doing what you love to do to doing what you have to do, so you don't go to jail because of a human calculation error or some bullshit like that. So then what happens with that is a lot of things stop, and those things happen to be after work, going out on the battlefield with your buddies and just kind of fatutzing around. And then, then you get into a relationship, and you get a dog, and you have responsibilities and a house and all this stuff, and things change. Things change, and the fun, it's not that the fun goes away, it's the fun changes. It's a different kind of fun, but it's not the same fun, and it detaches you a little bit. So I'm looking forward to spending time being a tourist with Derek, and I'm going to be so much of a tourist that I'm going to do things that we call Toronic things. I'm going to just completely turn off my brain. I'm going to drive the wrong way down park roads. I'm going to, let's see, what else am I going to do? I'm going to let my dog shit, and I'm going to pick it up with a bag, and I'm going to leave the bag right by a parking space. That's what I'm going to do. What else am I going to do? I'm just going to turn my brain off, forget everything I know, and not think anything through, and just ask whatever question comes to mind. Why are there no bullet holes in the monuments? Things like that. What do they do with the monuments in the off season? Those common Toronic questions. And it's going to be fun, and I'm going to fall back in love with all that stuff. I am looking forward to that. Looks like a Venice day there today. Oh, it reminds me of Venice, very much so. The gondolas going down the middle of Baltimore Street. It is just beautiful, beautiful. Eric Houston says you can pee along the wall in the cemetery parking lot, and then I can come along and yell at you. Oh yes, like that guy did. Yeah. Oh God. Yeah, Eric saw. Was it you that? I must have been you, because you have that story there. Eric saw somebody peeing along the retaining wall, I believe, in the cemetery parking lot. And he was like, "Hey, what are you doing?" And the guy turned around midstream and got Eric all wet. Oh yes, well, Michael will have a cornhole tournament. That will be nice. To remind us of 4th of July's past. Matt Gillespie says, part of the loss of zeal is age. I'm guilty. Oh, please don't tell me that. Please. I loved when life was an adventure. And I loved when discovering something new gave me a thrill and energized me. And I don't ever want to lose that. And if that's part of getting old, then may a meteorite land on me now. Or is it a meteor? Whichever one is bigger. Oh, very nice day. Yes. Well, it's also a Venice day. Hope you still take me to Jeb Stuart Monument whenever I come back out. Sure. I mean, you could always go there yourself and grab a bag of little ground top. Eric Houston says, yeah, I saw it not behind the wall. He was beside the wall in full view. That's right. That's right. "5 feet from his truck." You know, if you're going to be that close to your truck, why don't you piss on the tires like you're at a construction site? What is that all about, going and pissing on a wall? Zeppelin, yes, absolutely. You can order the coffee online, addressing gettysburg.com/cafe. Cafe spelled C-A-F-E, not C-A-F-A-Y, like a lot of people think. It's a French word, I think. Who knows? Who knows? I didn't graduate college. I dropped out. Yes, we just passed the Lincoln Diner. I don't know if they do. I mean, they take Visa. As far as anything to do with the Pope, I don't know. So I don't know if they take papal currency or not. But pretty much, the basics. They'll definitely do the basics. I've recently gotten into ordering clothing that does not have any plastics in it. So no, like all cotton, 100% cotton, hemp. I just ordered hemp t-shirts. And if they aren't comfortable to wear, then we all got something to smoke. So I'll let you know how that goes. Barbara says, "What? Why did you make the last the last AG show patronly? Oh, patron only. You lied to me, saying they'd be free." That must have been an error on Tad's part when he posted it. I'll have to go and check that. The default is paid members only, and so he probably didn't, when he was posting everything, probably didn't realize that. It's probably for the best that it wasn't for free. It was a dreadful, dreadful show. It's really so horrible. Sorry, I'm eating a peanut. It was really so horrible that I think it should only be members only. It wasn't intended to be. But, Barbara, someone who'd said, I don't know who it was, but somebody there said, Barbara said she couldn't get in, and so she gave up. And I just rolled my eyes, figuring it was you not being able to work the technology. But now if you're saying it's for patron only, then that's a setting issue, and I'll change that. Yeah, James, we are. You don't have to pay me in hugs and compliments. That I appreciate it, but we're going to do that anyway. That's on the 3rd, right? Yeah. You have a good day too. Life is purgatory says, don't trust the Roman Vatican, trust in Jesus. I agree. Amen. Forget about institutions. My God, look what they do to us. All right, everybody. I'm going to get going and get ready for tonight's show. Got to read up on Kane's Brigade so I know what the hell to talk about tonight. Don't forget to call in with your questions for Charlie. Calling in is free. Super chats of $10 or more get read on the air, and they also go to cover the cost of our dinner. I do feed everybody. It's at 7 o'clock tonight Eastern, live on YouTube. Look forward to seeing you. Look forward to hearing your voices on the phone. And go ahead and get your Culp's Hill book out, or get your Brigades of Gettysburg book out, and read up on Kane's Brigade so that you have a good question for Charlie tonight. Talk to you later.